I'm Laura Schultz of Abundant Wellness Coaching, and welcome to our first video vegetable of the month. And this month's vegetable is broccoli. And I'm going to show you two different preparations that are probably maybe a little bit different, a little unusual. One is very, very fast at high heat, and the other is a slow, long, slow braise. And I don't think we tend to treat broccoli that way most of the time, but we tend to steam it or microwave it, or maybe do a stir fry, something sort of a medium time. But these two are my personal favorite, and I wanted to share them with you, and they're a little bit out of the ordinary. Broccoli is a member of the Brassica family, or cruciferous vegetable. They're related to cabbage and Brussels sprouts and cauliflower and even collards. But the broccoli is the flower bud of the plant, and if you let it sit and grow, continue to grow, these little buds will bloom into little pretty yellow flowers. As a matter of fact, when I volunteered at a farm where kids came to visit, sometimes they would find broccoli that had flowered, and they'd pick the flowers, and they'd walk around munching on these little broccoli bouquets of the yellow flowers. And the flowers are indeed edible and tasty, and the kids kind of got a kick out of eating a bouquet. And these probably were kids who turned their nose up at broccoli at home. So sometimes a slightly different presentation will change an attitude toward a vegetable. But we pick it before it's bloomed and cook the broccoli, and it's one of the more popular vegetables despite its occasional reputation. When we get broccoli from the store, get it in a couple different ways. And this is probably the most typical. You got a little rubber band around a few stems of broccoli, and it's got the crown and it's got the stem. And if the stems are not too big and not too woody, they are edible, and we'll make use of them in both of our preparations. You can certainly always just get the crowns, where the stem has already been removed for you. It'll cost a little bit more per pound. And you can even get just a bag of the florets, where each floret has been separated. And again, you're going to spend a little bit more. But any of those methods of getting broccoli are fine. There's no shame in paying somebody to do a little of your prep work for you. But it is more economical to get them with the stems, and you can make use of the stem. So that's where I'm going to start. So let me get the camera so we can see the cutting board. All right, so here we have our broccoli ready to cut. The first thing I'm going to do is to separate the stem from the crown, and then find where it feels, and this, unfortunately, for being a rather small stem, feels pretty woody. And I'm just going to be able to use an inch or so. And then I'm just going to peel this with a vegetable peeler or a paring knife. And have the stem to use. So I would do that with each of them. And now to cut up the crown. For the quick hot roasting method, we want fairly large pieces, so I'm just going to quarter this head. Cut it that way, and then cut it that way, and that's it. All right, so we've got, and I want these large flat surfaces. So what I'm going to do with this is toss these pieces, and cut this stem in half. And these pieces are going to be tossed with some olive oil, garlic, salt and pepper, and a little bit of sugar. And that's kind of the secret ingredient. It's going to help it brown. Preheat the oven to 500 degrees. Yes, 500 degrees with the shelf at its lowest setting. Preheat a sheet pan, so the sheet pan has also come up to 500 degrees. And then take the oiled broccoli and just put it cut side down onto the hot pan. It'll sizzle, cooks for 9, 10 at the most minutes, and squeeze a lemon on top, and you're ready to go. It's browned. It's delicious. I know people who claim this is the only way they or their children like broccoli. And if that's the case, they probably haven't had the other way that I'm going to prepare the broccoli. It's my personal favorite. To get the full recipe and instructions for the fast cook broccoli, which was a Cook's Illustrated technique, and they tested that and found it to be the most delicious way that they found to do broccoli. To get those instructions, those full instructions and picture, go to my website and get the video vegetable of the month newsletter, and there you'll have the full instructions. To do the slow cook braise, which is going to be a sauce served over polenta, and this is a main dish with very, very few ingredients and just a sort of interesting technique. I'm going to continue to chop up the broccoli into slightly smaller pieces, very rough chop, because you'll see it's just going to be cooked until it completely falls apart. And it's probably something you've been told, don't overcook your broccoli. We are going to quite intentionally overcook our broccoli, and you'll find it makes this wonderful, smooth, jade green sauce. So I'm going to continue to cut up the broccoli while I bring a pot of water to the boil.